Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum, and good morning to you all. First of all, I want to thank NSF for inviting me to give this talk. Honorable Minister, Science and Technology Minister, Professor Krishanta Besena, Secretary to the Science and Technology Ministry, Mr. Namavi, Chairperson of NSF, Professor Senavira, DG of NSF, Professor Dr. Sudhasinghe, and all the distinguished invitees. I'm sorry I'm not telling all the names, and my colleagues. And I always say, when I say my colleagues, and I know all of you are, I work with most of you all, and my great mentor is right here, my undergraduate mentor, Professor Dilip De Silva. And there are a lot of friends, colleagues here, and I'm very happy to deliver my talk here. And of course, NSF has been a pioneering institute in Sri Lanka, sustaining, supporting, and taking forward research and development in Sri Lanka. So I'm not going to go into the details of what NSF has been doing, and it's been discussed, and there are a lot of developments. And since the chairperson actually set me and Honorable Minister and the government on the really firing line, we must answerable. So I'll align my talk, what are our plans for our R&D developments and how we can address those statistics that has been put forward. And of course, I am very well known about those. And I think you all know, although I'm in the US for 24 years, every year I have been in the ground in Sri Lanka. Many know about it, so I know all these facts, and that's why I really wanted to do something to improve our R&D culture. So that's where we thought about bringing this policy framework, and we have been identifying most of these problems, actually all of those and even more. So when we planned our policy development, we identified several very key issues in Sri Lankan R&D culture. First of all, we as a country, we are not really prioritizing our research aligned with our national development goals. So that is one of the main issues we identified first. And then our research is scattered. But I always say, I always align, and also I always sitting on the side of our researchers, because I know how much effort you all make to do your research under very difficult conditions, very difficult situations. You actually do every possible way to do something. But the national direction is needed. And then after doing your research, the proper alignment with the commercialization and take it into the economic benefit and also social benefit is also not, it's also weaker. So we identified that also. And then thirdly, of course, as mentioned, the funding amount is really less for GDP. From the GDP, we are putting into the R&D developments. So there are many others, as mentioned as well. So our approach, I have been talking about this policy, I think more than 50 occasions so far, with keynote talks, so many other talks, many forums, and I think with NSF also I did maybe even multiple times, so I'm not going to bore you with all the details. But very briefly, what we are trying to do is, we have these components isolated. The NSF role is also, we can see like that. Within that, it's really, really wonderful. But we really need to set up the ecosystem, run from this end to the other end in a very smooth manner. So we are actually proposing to have national higher level centralization management for the whole R&D, and then have high-powered commission to run it. So in this national, centralized management, we actually propose to have 6 divisions: the policy prioritization, policy development, then the research prioritization, and then funding division, and then research monitoring and facilitation, and then commercialization, and then finally the research output dissemination. So I'm very happy to say that Professor Rohan Fernando is here, the chairman of the NSF. So we have been working day and night bringing this policy, and also we want to thank Honorable Minister as well. So we actually almost finalized the policy, and we are bringing it, and we had stakeholder meetings. I think most of you all also joined. So if I go to some very specific, as I mentioned, he set up us in the firing line, so I'm trying to give some statistics. So the GDP, so far it's about 0.12%, and I'm very happy to say that the government allocation is doubled. Even under these very difficult economic conditions, we have increased the amount and even NSF budget. And I can remember when the government was formed, we had only about 2-3 weeks time to look at the 2025 budget in last December. So we actually gathered together and we tried our best within few weeks time to increase budgets. And I had discussions with how to increase the NSF budget, and so we were able to do that, and so we are continuing to do that. And even one other example is, while the policy is being developed, one thought I had was, so when usually a government comes in, the previous work mostly suppressed or ignored, but what I suggested President was, so far, there are a lot of public funding has been utilized in the research, and you all have been doing it, and NSF actually is the major place that distributed that funding. So there were a lot of research happen, and there are some research near completion. So what I suggested was, let's try to fill those gaps and bring it into the commercialization. So we established a special unit called National Initiative for Research and Development Commercialization, NIRDC, directly under the President. And so far he actually allocated 1 billion Sri Lankan rupees for that special unit as well. So there are a lot of new initiatives happening to increase the funding. And then private sector also, I'm very glad to say that after we launch that quantum leap policy framework about a year back, there were a lot of discussions started about the R&D, and there were private sector actually talked to me, many investors saying, we thought research is only belongs to those white-coated people, but now we understand there are a lot of value-added products can be developed, so we can come and invest. So there are a lot of discussions going on with private investments, and even ADB like really big places really connecting with us, and we are trying to develop so many programs. So we try our best to move forward. And then we are really badly affected with the brain drain. And that's why one of the main things, we are lack of researchers, and actually we have been talking with Honorable Minister, with the Science and Technology Ministry. We will have some very focused plans to address this issue in 3 layers. Probably we can harness their knowledge while they are sitting there. Technology is very developed. They can do lectures, so some seminars from there. And secondly, when they come to Sri Lanka, we can actually utilize few days for workshops or other things. But the third part is the most important, bring them back. So about 20 years back, when I was graduating in US, I saw the Chinese and Indian friends who were graduated were directly attracted to their countries back, providing big packages. And if you compare the 20 years back where China and India was and where they are today, this is one of the main reasons. They actually brought back their expats and developed their countries. So we are trying to do the same thing. And then actually, of course, the priority list, we have established a special national committee. So before the policy comes in, we have to address that issue as soon as possible because the budgets are being built now. So again, myself and Professor Rohan Fernando are co-chairing that committee. We are really working day and night now with a lot of experts joining, try to prioritize research. And this time actually we will only come up with general recommendations because it's too hard to like change many projects. So, but those will be aligned with the national development plans of the government. And also patents, extremely important area in R&D culture. And we are very happy to say that again, we had multiple meetings and now the national IP policy is being developed under the Science and Technology Ministry. NIA and NASTEC has been charged to do that. So they are actually working on developing that. And there are so many issues and I don't want to take time, but with instruments, procurements, and we know how difficult is these procurement processes and buying instruments to buying even day-to-day reagents. So in US, in my lab, when I order something in the morning, we'll have it in the afternoon or next day, and even we have company fridges in the university. You just go and buy it and go to the lab and do the work. So we have been in touch. Actually, I have discussed with the Secretary to the Treasury as well, and he is very responsive. Even within few days of time, he assumed his duties. He was very patiently listening to all the concerns and the problems I took to him. Earful of problems that you all face, and I talked to him, and he's very happy to help us and developing some procedures. And of course, with the digitalization, I think some of the parts will be released but there are so many other things to do. And the instruments also, we are working on a lot, and I really want to actually, NSF is been building the equipment list, and I really want to very humbly ask you all, please disclose your instruments when they come. And this is not to take away your instruments, but just to get an idea what are the instruments in Sri Lanka. And also, we are actually working on developing high-level grant review systems. So in NIRDC, we have already applied, I think some of you all there. So like US type, very high level, transparent and unbiased grant reviewing processes as well. So we have a lot of things going on, and I think I took more time than I have been allocated. Lastly, I want to really congratulate all the award winners. This event is for that, and that is the way to go. And please continue the engagement with research, and you will be awarded much more than in the future. So we will do our best to nourish this R&D ecosystem. So having said that, once again, thank you so much, NSF, for inviting me to give this talk. And I really wish you all success, but at the same time, I really very humbly asking you all to support us and our efforts of trying to reshape the R&D ecosystem in Sri Lanka. Thank you so much.